classic ballet company in Ireland. Last night she brought her production of Giselle to the stage of the Lyric Theatre, and she's got a further show there tonight. But I'm delighted to say that Monica joins me this afternoon. It's lovely to meet you, Monica.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I believe your production last night in the Lyric was the first ballet to have been performed there since the refurbishment.
Yeah, I was told so. You know, it's such a beautiful venue,
isn't it?
Yeah,
how was it received? How was the ballet received?
It was so warmly. Like, it's funny because Irish audiences, I know them really quite well, so it's not that they take a while to warm up. It's just they're just very timid at the start. It's like they're afraid to, this is what my folks used to tell me, to frighten the dancers, and then they see that these dancers are really strong and can take it, and then by the end they were just completely blown away. I had people meeting me on the steps saying that they were crying the whole way through it.
We don't seem to have a great history or a great...
We don't. We have quite a checkered past with ballet.
Yes.
But, you know, putting all of that aside, that's in the past, and I'm just really working to make that kind of history and, you know, paving the way for ballet and to have our own full-time ballet company and school on the island of Ireland.
Which you have managed to do. You have the company at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's still a sort of elitist thing about it, is there not?
No, there's not.
Do you reckon not?
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't think that. You know, perhaps it's linked to the 80s and, you know, Margot Fontaine and the Royal Ballet. Perhaps it's linked to that. But I don't, because I work with just ordinary Irish young women and men all of the time. And of course, we have a lot of famous Russian dancers coming in with us, and they're all the most normal, but like just really excited about their work. So perhaps, yes, I can understand where the elitism might be perceived, but genuinely not with my company. I wouldn't put up with enough for a minute. It needs to be something that Irish people can identify with, and we really don't. That's not in our nature to feel, you know, almost elitist.
Yes.
We want to feel warm and excited, and, you know, all these fireworks and this passion. So that's what this company is about.
Where did you get it from? Because at the age of 14, you went off to Russia.
I did indeed. Yes.
I wouldn't have let my 14-year-old go down to the local shop without.
Well, no, my parents are very good. My father was in.
I'm not
they decided they'd let the Russians rear me. They did a good job. No, my father was in the Irish Air Corps, so he left his mother when he was 14. So he saw, you know, they never fathomed that I would be away for so long. I think they thought, you know, she'll go for 6 months, get it out of her system, come home. Yeah. You know, 12, 13 years later, I'm still over there. They're just like, oh, okay. But I just really took to it. I love that you can be whoever you set your mind to be. So as soon as the class starts, as soon as a ballet class starts, you are as good as you set your mind to be.
Yes.
If you really focus, anything is possible. And coming from a family of 3 sisters where I was the youngest, and just, sure, look at her, you know, she's only the kid, you know, we'll ask her last what she wants to do. To find myself in an environment where I could completely pave my own way.
But an environment was so alien to anything.
It was. And it was 1991 when I went over there. That was a very tough time in Russia. Like, there wasn't used to buy mayonnaise on the side of the street because it didn't have it in the shops.
Wow.
It was just such a bizarre. You couldn't buy needle and thread. You'd buy them off some granny there selling her stuff on the side of the road. You couldn't buy flowers. You couldn't buy chocolate, only in a foreign shop. So it was called a dollar shop. If you had dollars, you could buy food there. It was very, very tough. But it is, like, now you wouldn't even recognise Russia. It has evolved
of course.
so much.
You see, I know a little bit about ballet.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, my 2 daughters did ballet up until their mid-teens. The one thing I learned, it is one of the toughest career options that one could take. It is one. Give us an example of when you were at your heights, the training that you had to go through on a daily basis.
Well, so when I was in Russia training, performing, you'd get up, you'd have class at 10, you'd train till 3, so every hour you'd be training. Then you'd have 2 hours off, which you'd eat and sleep and come back to the theatre. And then you might have rehearsal before you'd have a performance at 7 or 8, depending on what performance it was. And the performance would end at 11. You'd go home, eat, shower, sleep, wake up the next day, and that was every day. So some days were 10-hour, 11-hour days, but they're physical 10 and 11-hour days. So
toes
it was
bleeding, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, heels and toes. I mean, toenails falling off, which still happens now. That'll happen to me for the rest of my life, but that doesn't bother me. Actually, it's quite a relief when they do fall off. But no, it's, you know what, but it's so worth it because you're constantly driven and focused on achieving and being the best you can possibly be, and you're surrounded by like-minded people. Like, and a lot of people, I would say probably all people that do ballet and have decided to take it up as a career, they're very disciplined and focused young individuals. And even as a fact, if they don't have a career in ballet, they go on because they're so laser focused in their ambitions, which is not, which I feel is a very important word in our life. We have to have high goals and ambitions. They can go on to achieve whatever they want because, that's the kind of person you need to be.
The other thing too is, even if you're not looking at it from a professional point of view, it is great training for any young girl or any young fella to go along to ballet classes. It gives them a confidence, gives them a poise. Would you accept that? Or
it does, most certainly. Both of my sisters did ballet and they wouldn't have been the shape to do ballet. Let's just be honest. And I just stumbled in after them, as an afterthought. Let's stick her in and she'll do it as well. But they really thoroughly enjoyed it. And not only that, when you do ballet, you make a new set of friends that you might perhaps not have made in school. So, all of that opens up. And not only that, even when you're going in for a job interview later on in life, to say, I did ballet, I participated in this kind of art form that is terribly complicated and that is so disciplined. You're showing perhaps your future employer that you have that discipline and focus and that determination to bring you all the way through to your hobbies. Because a lot of people say my hobbies now is watching, films, but about you need to have some get up and go as well. Yeah. But it builds great teamwork. It's just great on all over first team. It's brilliant.
You're not allowed to eat much, are you?
You are, of course you are. Actually, do you know what? I was on the stairs yesterday and people were coming down to congratulate me, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful meeting so many people. And I'm just turning around to them like, I have to go. I have to feed my Russians. I have to feed them. They're always so hungry because you burn off so many calories.
Of course you would. If you're doing 12-hour days.
Exactly.
Training,
and
my goodness.
as I said to them, I said, I don't knock on the door on the dressing room door without a bag of food because I'm afraid what will happen or what they'll say. So no, you know what? It's a myth, and it's a nice myth that I quite enjoy actually being able to dispel at this point in my career.
Are you doing any dancing yourself at the moment?
I have this wonderful walk-on part that I'm so enjoying. I get to walk on in this amazing dress with leather gloves and a riding crop, and that's all I need. Yeah, I'm very fancy.
Is it a very modern Giselle?
No, it's not. It's not at all. But I have this beautiful, it's like Scarlett O'Hara dress. I'm so impressed. Lovely. I get the best of both worlds. I get to look pretty and not do a lot of dancing.
Have we any names to look out for, young ballerinas from Northern Ireland?
We have a few. I'm not going to say because it's too early days yet, but there is a lot of talent up here. I'm hand on heart, and a lot of lovely schools up the north.
Yeah.
And the training up here, I have to say, is very, very high standard, and all the girls that have come to me from Northern Ireland, I've been more than impressed by. So it's a great job up here.
Fantastic. You have another performance tonight, have you?
We do indeed. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Any tickets left for it? Would you happen to
I
know?
think there's only literally a handful of tickets left for it. But
it'd be worth going, because if you haven't seen a ballet, you really should go to a ballet.
Well, I promise you'll be in good hands. I take care of my audience.
You most definitely will be good in Monica Loughman's hands. Monica, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And good luck tonight.
Thank you.